nutraceutical side of things, which means naturally sourced supplements, non-GMO, gluten-free, right? And for a long time, we have had lots of success and helped thousands and thousands of people. And Celia was one of those.
Yes.
But I also, and I'm going to have her share in a minute of her story of how we got to know each other and everything. But I also want to say I'm excited for you guys to hear about an area that we are actually moving into as referrals. We are partnering with a telehealth company, and we are going to be sending referrals over to a 503A pharmacy and a group of telehealth doctors. And it's really exciting. So before we get into all of that, I just want to thank Celia Boone for being on. Celia, thank you so much for coming live with me and sharing a little bit about your experiences. So before you share about your most recent experiences and the awesome changes that I have seen you go through, I also want you to tell us a little bit about, like, how do you and I know each other? Take us back 10 plus years and then tell me a little bit about our history together.
Okay. Well, thank you, Melissa. And if I didn't think that this was the hot thing, I wouldn't be on here. You know this.
Yes.
But anyway, no. So you and I worked at the same bank for years and years and years. We were both branch managers and all the things. And so that's how we knew each other. And then another girl that we work with, I'd seen her losing weight and I was like, what's going on? You know? And so anyway, long story short, I asked about it, and then here we are. We're doing this together with Singular. And anyway, it's kind of one of those things. It's more or less, I think, a God thing that it crossed our paths in more than one way, other than the bank. Now here we are. But anyway, so then I started on the program, and I lost 50 pounds in 5 months. And gosh, I maintained that for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And then life happened, Melissa. Big life happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so you start gaining a little bit, and then you get to where you're gaining a little bit more, and you're so focused on what's going on that you lose sight of yourself.
Yep.
And so yourself just kind of disappears in the background.
It's not easy to just grab stuff. We've made it easier now, right?
Yeah, yes.
It
used to be like you had to plan your meal and you had to do, and plan when you used to take your supplements and all the things. So things have transpired over 10 years. It's crazy when I think about where we were and where we are now. I'm like, holy moly, and just all the tools that we have accessible to us now with the click of a finger. And if I can do that at 63, anybody can do it. But anyway, so that part of it, and it was great, and I loved sharing it. I still share about it today because I really believe in it. It was the one thing that worked for me for years and years and years. You want to hear something funny, Melissa? Is that 3 of my grandkids do not know me working at the bank. They think all I've done is Singular.
Yeah.
Is that not crazy? I'm like, y'all never know where to bank. And we just had this conversation the other day, and I was like, I was there for 20 years. Good Lord. Really made me feel real old for a minute. But anyway.
But you had flexibility to be home, to go to all their games, to pick them up from after school, to be the last minute, provider of the snacks or whatever for the party.
Yes, exactly. And I love that. That's the thing, is that getting to be able to go do those things. Oh, man. Because at the bank, it was like, can I, do I have permission, that kind of thing. I need to take another day of PTO, all those things. As we working at a job behind a desk and running a branch of 25 employees, you've got to be the example. So you can't just go and do whatever you think you want to do. You've got to, you have to follow the rules too. So anyway, and I never thought that I would ever be gone from the bank, to be honest with you. And I thought if I ever did, I would be worried about who's going to pay my bills. But, God provided, and through this big time. And, it's just been all the way around been a great experience. And so I absolutely love Singular, where we've been, and most especially where we're headed. Wow.
Yes. So, getting into that a little bit. So we still have like the number one probiotic, right? On the market, to help with your gut health. Very affordable too. And it actually is like a mood booster. I love giving it to my teenage daughter because it makes her feel in a great mood. She doesn't even realize it. But gut health is so much of what your body needs to function completely. But that's also where a lot of hormones are made,
Yes.
including our GLP-1 hormone, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so we have now realized, especially in women's health, and as women change, they go through hormonal changes, young, old, middle, right? And
Yes.
that causes us not only to have a shift in weight, but a shift in hormones, a shift in moods, a shift in energy levels, and our performance changes, right?
Right.
We can't show up for everybody as much. We don't have the focus that we had. At least that's what I've been experiencing now that I'm in my mid 40s, Celia. And so I've gone and asked, sometimes I've asked medical professionals and been like, what do I need to do? And a lot of times they're like, oh, I don't know. When I actually had a doctor tell one of my friends, he said, well, it's not rocket science. It's a calorie deficit. Go just diet and exercise more. And
Oh, right. Really?
yeah,
Thanks.
that's not always the answer for a lot of women when we're busy and we're on the go. We've
Mm-hmm.
got all these other demands and things pulling towards us. So, um, over the last few months, we Singular has announced that we are partnering with a telehealth company and we are going to be doing referrals. And we have some specific things that we are going to be helping women with, especially when it comes to now not only the nutraceutical side, but also giving them a referral to a telehealth doctor so that they could possibly get some pharmaceuticals. And so tell us a little bit about what all this came about, and like what inspired you to first kind of start on that side of the journey and what your experiences have been so far.
Okay. So first of all, I'm so true to Singular, and I know that they're not going to steer me wrong. They never have. And so I trusted them. And that's a big thing, the trust. And so when they talked about this, I was like, I had that in the back of my mind, but I was like most people, very skeptical. And I thought, do what? You know? But then I got to do my research and I thought, I'm going to check things out. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try so that I can tell people my experience before we launch it and say, hey, here's what I have found and all the things. And so I can tell you first, whenever I, was going to try it, I was scared to death. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to go blind? My arm going to fall off? What's going to happen? Because you hear all these myths, and for one thing, there's such a thing as what we call the black market.
Yeah.
And so that I think is where you get a lot of these other things that you're hearing.
Mhm.
Whereas ours, of course, like you said, is the FO3A, the pharmacy that's FDA, whatever. And so I was real comfortable with that, very comfortable with that. And so I gave it a shot. And I'm just telling you right now, whenever I walked in that door and I left out of there, like I said, I was waiting for something to happen and it never did.
Yeah.
The only thing that happened is I come home and I wasn't going in the pantry every 10 minutes, grabbing an Oreo or grabbing some chips or grabbing this or grabbing that, because I was getting real bad about that.
Yeah.
It was like a go-to. And so it shut off the food noise.
That's awesome.
Yes, it shut off the food noise. And I was feeling good. And I thought, okay. And I went to bed that night and got up the next morning and still felt good, But the next day I found myself not eating as much, because I can eat as much as a grown man. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, like I can put down.
You have three granddaughters there with you 90% of the time, right? And teenagers, girls eat a lot too.
Yes. It's Snack City.
Yeah.
Like, no, Nana, will you make cookies? Nana, and I'm just like, oh my gosh,
And they have the metabolism to do it.
Oh, yeah, my metabolism left years ago. I don't know where it went, but I haven't found it yet. But anyway, so it was really crazy, Melissa, because I noticed that I was feeling good. But the big thing is I was getting fast results. Yeah. And I'm one of those, I wanted it now, and I got it.
So tell us about the results you've had so far. You have been on a terzepatide, right?
Yes.
And that is a peptide that's got a combination of different things in it. So tell us a little bit about what have those results been?
So the results, okay, so the first day I got in here and, and I weighed and I'd already lost a pound my first day.
Wow.
Yeah. It was because I did it like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
And so of course that night I wasn't near as hungry. And at nighttime was one of my biggest problems because I sit around and watch The Voice or, go to this and go to that. And I think I had to have something in my mouth all the time, But anyway, so one of the biggest things is I started feeling better and I didn't feel bloated. And I thought, okay, that was a huge thing for me because when you sit down, Melissa, and this is sad to say, but when you sit down and you feel like your gut's up here and you just feel like everything's like up here, you don't feel good about yourself. And you just feel like you need to shift everything around. It's hard to explain, but when you feel like you've got 2 and 3 bellies, it sucks.
Yeah,
for sure. But
and it's
anyway,
not good for the confidence.
Oh yeah, yeah. So whenever I would go to church and I could cross my legs, and it didn't stand out here like this, it was like this, like it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
I knew I was like, wow,
you're
I
on the
could
right
feel
track.
around my knees and stuff. Then the other thing was too is like my cheekbones are more defined now than they were. Usually I was like, I have this thing going on. I've noticed like in my arms, big time. Of course, the scale. Well, this morning I'm actually down 23.5 pounds.
Wow, and that's in what, 3 weeks?
It's been 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And so anyway, and then I was telling a friend of mine, so I have these boots that zip up at the back. And I love them. And people have seen I have pictures in them. But whenever I would zip them up, I would zip them to just go walk somewhere. But the minute I would get there, I would unzip them because they were tied around my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
So I wore them Sunday to church and I thought, I have not unzipped these. In my ankle, I could put my fingers down in the boot.
That's fantastic.
I mean, little things like that, you're just like, and and another thing, I have to show you this. So I bought this shirt.
Yeah.
And I bought an extra large because I thought that's what I would buy.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, this shirt is like, yes.
You're gonna have to cut that shirt and you're gonna have to style it different.
Yes, I feel like I got a tent on, But anyway, that's why I put it on so y'all could see because I'm like, I don't really, and I don't know, it just hangs different and I don't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just things like that. And then like in a skirt, I have a picture of myself in a black top and a white skirt. I haven't worn that skirt since last summer. Well, 2 summers ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a Lululemon skirt.
If you guys haven't taken it and checked it out, you need to go to Celia Boone's Facebook page and check out her pictures that she put on there because she had some pictures that she put up over the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
And her transformation, it is pretty awesome. But how has doing this, and along the way, you've also been incorporating or been using, because you were actually already had your body prepped, because
yes,
you're utilizing the gut health products. So tell us a little bit about what gut health products you're taking and why you feel like those are also helping you along the way.
Okay, yes, absolutely. So I've always been taking a probiotic. I mean, I didn't grow up thinking about probiotics, but as time goes on, as time transpires, you learn you need a probiotic. So I was already taking our probiotic just for my gut health because as you get older, I mean, I know this is gross to say, but you have indigestion, you have constipation, you get all the things, and they're rough to talk about, but it's real life. It really is. So whenever I started taking our probiotic, those things started subsiding, and I was like, so I don't miss it. At all because of the gut health. If your gut's jacked up, it don't matter what you do, you're not going to lose weight.
Yeah.
So I take that every single morning without fail. I don't run out of it. And anyway, and the other thing is too is this sounds so crazy because I'm a big coffee girl. Okay, get up in the morning, make my coffee.
I think everybody that works at this bank loves coffee.
Do what now?
I said anyone that works in a bank loves coffee.
Yes. You live on it. Yeah, exactly. But now I'm getting to where I drink about this much coffee and then guess what I'm making?
Oh, your protein.
Yes, my protein. So I was already doing trim sticks and spring and collagen. I was mixing those together every day. Anybody that's followed me knows I was mixing those things up all the time. Melissa, if I go to a restaurant, I always pull out my little sticks of my trim sticks and spring and put them in my water because I don't like water by itself.
No.
Let's just be, I mean, I do if it's real hot outside or whatever, but to drink it all the time, I like to have a little flavor. you
Well,
know?
and so many city waters, especially when you go to restaurants and stuff, the city water is not good.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know those restaurants, I'm like, ooh. But anyway, so I always take that and mix it in because that's what I want to drink.
Mhm.
And anyway, so I've already been doing that. But then, and so the collagen has protein in it. And then our clear protein, that is the best stuff ever.
And red sour candy sold out.
I know. I'm so sad. Now, this morning, so in this right here, I have 2 scoops of clear protein, and I did the green apple this morning, and I did 2 scoops of collagen. I know I'm over the top, and then I did trim sticks and spring, and I like the frosted cranberry spring, and I like all the trim sticks, so I just kind of get the different one every day, just change it up. Yeah, but I put all this in here, and I do almost 2 bottles of water in here, and I will drink that because protein. Start my day with protein gives me the energy I need. Plus, I don't care if you're doing trizipatide or if you're doing keto, if you're doing whatever, mama's best recipes. If you don't have protein, you're not going to lose weight.
Right. And protein also is a building block for our muscle. And as we get
Yes.
older, we don't have the muscle. It's been something I remember learning about when I was in health class in high school, is that you need to make sure as a woman that you're really trying to keep your muscle built, and
Yes.
it supports your bones, and you
Yes.
want to have strong bones as you get older. Right?
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
not so much about how you look as much as it is how you can function and what you can do, right?
Right.
So, so as you've done this journey, share with us, has there been any challenges? And what limiting beliefs have you had to overcome?
So, like I said, I was the biggest skeptic, and I thought all these things were going to go haywire and wrong, but they didn't. The thing that I have found, honestly, is that if I start my day with protein, it starts my energy because I've done it both ways.
Oh,
Over the 5 weeks, you get up in the morning, you think, oh, I'll just have, whatever. And anyway, and I'll drink my coffee and I think, oh, I'll eat in a little bit. But if I start my day, and I drink my coffee first thing because but if I start my day with protein, and I'll tell you another thing I do, I carry this with me.
oh, you have a little.
And there's a natural one too. I usually have the natural one, but they were out, so I got this. But just carry that with you if you're going somewhere or whatever. It's not hard. Put it in your car, whatever. But just having some kind of protein, beef jerky. I stopped the other day and had to get a birthday card and got a beef jerky. Just something to kind of keep it going because that helps your energy.
Yeah.
So that's the big things I have found. And staying hydrated. If you don't stay hydrated, this sounds nasty again, but it's a real life thing. If you're not staying hydrated, you're not gonna be able to go poop.
Yeah. That's
and it's got to go somewhere. It's going to come out somewhere. Either going to be, I say that.
Well,
I've been saying that for 10 years.
Why our gut health is so important, because there's so many things that are in the gut, processed through the gut, metabolized through the gut. And so you've got to keep it all moving good so that you can ingest, digest, get it into your bloodstream, all of that. It's just part of science. So
Perfect.
Now that you are on this journey, what are you most excited about for what's next in your journey?
Oh, wow. So how fast I've been losing has been the big thing. And, and collagen's so important. And as well as, like you said, keeping your protein so you keep your muscle built. I do lift some small weights, whatever, and I walk a lot just to keep my muscle tone and everything, because I don't want to be a stick and have that ugly figure. But anyway, so even at 63 we care, right? But the biggest thing, honestly, that I'm excited about is because, well, first of all, I have to share this with you. So we were riding in the car the other day, and I had my soon-to-be 11-year-old grandson with me, and we were talking about, they said, oh, will you buy some Skittles, whatever. And anyway, and I was like, sure. And so anyway, and Hudson goes, Nana, have you lost weight?
Oh.
And I thought, and I said, yes, I have. And he said, I could tell. Oh my gosh, that totally made my whole year. Totally made my whole year. So the thing I'm looking forward to is, first of all, showing my grandkids, don't ever give up, that you can do something, but you have to put your mind to it. And check it out. Don't just listen to what you hear. Find out for yourself. I had to go find out for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. So find out for yourself. And the other thing is just all the lives that I'm going to be able to help change, because It's so funny because I looked up, you're always wondering what's your gift, what is something that you're called to do. And mine was to help inspire people to know it's going to be okay, and that, that there's always hope out there.
That's really awesome. And so here you are putting yourself up saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just do this for all my followers, for all the women out there that I've already helped in the past, to tell them, hey, it's okay. If you're stuck, or if you feel like you gave up, or maybe you didn't follow through, there are some other options.
Yes, exactly. I mean, never give up, and that's what I want people to know. Don't ever give up. And, you've got to find that person you trust. And I feel like that over 10 years, you and I have built a trust with people, with our customers and everything. And like I said, I wouldn't be on here today if I didn't believe in it, if I hadn't seen it for myself, and if I didn't know exactly. That's why I wanted to do it, because I'm like, I've got to know, because I'm not just going to go off of something. I have to have that trust.
Wow. Well, I absolutely love that, Celia. And I love that, we are going, as we partner with this telehealth program, we are going to be offering also the microdosing options.
Yes.
So with what you're doing with the terzipatide, I am not a medical professional. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
well,
learning
neither
more.
one are. Yeah.
But have you taken a look at some of the microdosing options that we have?
Oh, yeah.
And are any of them similar to what you have been doing?
So on the microdosing, that is something I'm going to add in, actually.
Okay.
Because I know that we have the one that has like for help with muscle tone, help with energy. And so that I'm excited about more than, because why not? You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's going to help you. And nobody wants to live a crappy life. Everybody wants to feel good and to be able to go do things. Keeping up with 7 grandkids, Melissa, and teenagers at that, it's go, 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 all the time. And so I'm really looking forward to the microdosing, actually. And so I'll probably, no doubt the muscle. And then what's the one? I'm drawing a blank here.
One for energy and focus. That's like,
yes, the focus. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like, Celia, you need to focus. But yes, how awesome will that be? And because no one wants to go around and be like, what, I forgot, that kind of thing.
Yep.
I want to be able to focus on things, to get tasks done with the mental focus that we all need, because I don't care if you're 20 or if you're 63, some of us just forget, and you just don't stay focused. And I think it'll help people, honestly, that deal with that.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm a little ADD myself.
Well, and it's crazy, the research or some of the studies that have been done for people that do struggle with ADD or ADHD that are younger, if they get gut health in order,
yes,
of those go away.
It makes a big difference. Yeah. It does.
Yep. Yeah. And sometimes it's just a hormone or something that your body needs, right?
Yeah.
So, well, this is so exciting. And so I do want to invite anyone watching, if you are ready to start supporting your body daily, we do have, I call this microdosing mixology here, kind of.
For sure.
You can mix in, this actually is my it's the new Island Slush trim stick mixed with the protein.
That's so good. Yes.
It is so good. But it's basically a glow up, and this is going to help your gut along the way, especially with the digestive enzymes that are in our protein. But it's also going to help you as you make this shift for yourself. If you do want to get out of being stuck, if you want to overcome limiting beliefs, the best thing to do is experience it yourself, right? So reach out to us, because over time, the goal isn't perfection. It is consistency. And sometimes we do need to try new things or introduce things, especially with technology and the way things are coming along, that, God's given us this opportunity to say, okay, this is what somebody may be missing.
Yes.
And here is an option. So I love it. So is there anything else you would want to add about your journey?
I would just say you brought up something big time, is digestive enzymes. That does help tremendously before you eat. And if you forget, take it after you eat. Just take it, because it really does help a lot. And I've, people that have talked to me that have tried it before, I'm like, give it a shot. You have to try different things. You have to take a probiotic, make sure your gut's in check, or you can forget it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yes. Well, I've had
Yeah.
other friends that have had bad experiences, and it was a few years ago. There wasn't as much information, right?
Yes.
Just like you said, they didn't have any support or take the time to do the gut health support. So
Yeah.
that does seem to make a huge, huge difference. So,
Yeah.
all right.